Hi there, my name is Fred, and I'd like to talk about photobombers. I don't know who you are, but I have acquired a very specific set of skills, and I could help you. No, I was taking a picture, as you can see, with my neighborhood hero, the Power Thirst guy. I came from Wisconsin to Las Vegas to watch Art Atwood compete in the Mr. Olympia competition. Now, sadly, tragically, Art Atwood did not listen to, I would say, my advice. And on September 11, 2011, Art Atwood passed away, probably from taking steroids. He had a heart attack when he was 38 years old, 38 or 39, way too young. That should never happen. The thing is, I had the opportunity to study from him, and I wanted to take some of his best advice and put it into a thing that could help so many people. Art Atwood, I don't know if you're familiar, but he became the Power Thirst. There was a guy from Canada who wanted to make this mythical, kind of funny YouTube video. It's called Power Thirst. And I met, Art Atwood was my acres of diamonds. You can go around the world, and the thing is, a lot of times you will find what you're looking for at your neighborhood gym. In my case, I went all the way from Wisconsin to California, and I met a bunch of people. I met Joe Gold. I met the Priest. People don't realize the Priest, Lee Priest lost 80 pounds of fat like in 6 months. And then he went on to compete in the Mr. Olympia competition. So people don't realize how powerful Lee Priest is, or all these bodybuilders. You read about all these bodybuilders. The point of the Acres of Diamond story is that here this giant was at my local gym. So I was able to study from him. But it's really, once you start studying the bodybuilders, they say the same things, no matter where you go. Whether it's a local gym in Brookfield, Wisconsin, or you go to Venice Beach. And so what I wanted to do is take this information and put it into an acronym so that it's really easy to remember. So that's why I say I have a very specific set of skills. I call it the Fit Fantasy Acronym. And I'm gonna go through real quickly. So it's fluids, irritation, 20 minutes of cardio, festival, amino acids, negative calories, trench, affirmation, switch things up, yesterday, and you. And I'm gonna take, 10, 15 minute video, and I wanna talk a little bit about each of the points on the acronym, because I think you'll find, really no matter how many books you read, you're gonna keep coming back to these fundamentals. I am from Wisconsin, and so, you have the great Vince Lombardi, and he would start the season every year. He would say, players, this is a football. And then he would go through the fundamentals. He would talk about blocking and tackling. And so it doesn't really matter how many books you read. Again, you're gonna come back to these fundamentals. So let me go through the fundamentals of fitness, call it the Fit Fantasy Acronym. So the first one is fluids. F stands for fluids. You gotta drink a lot of water. And when you go to the best bodybuilding gyms, you go to the Gold's Gym, or you go to the Metroflex Gym, or any of the great bodybuilders, you see them walking around with gallons of water. Think they're onto something. If you drink a lot of water, you're gonna feel better about yourself. You're gonna be able to lift more weight. You're gonna have more energy. It's just drinking a lot of fluids. It's in pretty much every book, no matter what your goal is. Even if your goal is to look dehydrated, one of the secrets is you drink more water, and then you mess with your sodium intake, and you end up looking more dehydrated. I lost and nothing special about me, but you mess with your sodium, you can lose like 14 pounds in 12 hours. It's obviously not healthy to keep doing that, but the best thing to do, the first step, is to drink a ton of fluids. So the I stands for irritation. And when I talk about my hero, talked about Art Atwood, you talked about Tom Platz, Leo Costa, or any of the bodybuilders, they always have different workout programs. But it's this thing called irritation. So he talked about blisters. And when a construction worker starts doing the job, he or she will often get blisters. They will get I want walking 13 miles a day. I wanted to lose 30 pounds in a month. So I started off walking, and I was so stupid, I wore sandals. I didn't even wear shoes and socks. So I got these huge bloody blisters on my feet. Well, eventually my feet adapted, and if you walk into it slowly, if you introduce the irritation to the body slowly, and allow your body to adapt, the body becomes its function, and the body's ability to adapt is really incredible. So we're talking about irritation. We're talking about doing more reps, doing more intensity, doing more weight, doing more sets. So you gradually increase the irritation. And that is something that Art Atwood taught me that I hadn't seen before. But a lot of bodybuilders, they always kind of touch on it. There's different aspects of irritation, but irritation, you gotta think about irritating the muscles. So more reps, more sets, in a way that it's like a construction worker starting a job. Eventually he or she is gonna develop calluses, and that way their feet, their hands won't be a big bloody mess. Eventually I was able to walk 13 miles a day without getting, bloody blisters all over my feet, because I allowed my feet to eventually adjust. So the next is the T. 10 minutes of cardio, 20 minutes of cardio, first thing in the morning. I like to do it first thing in the morning. Now, is it 10, is it 20, is it 30, is it 3 hours of cardio? I don't know. Right now I'm experimenting, getting some pretty good results. See what it feels like with 15 minutes of cardio. But there's something about intensity. And you can go to the Tabata workouts. Like, how much do you really need? I don't know, but there's something magical about doing cardio. Again, whether it's T, 10, 20, 30, or maybe something not necessarily T, but do some cardio each day. The F, festival. Maybe one of the secrets of Arnold Schwarzenegger, or pretty much any successful bodybuilder, is they take this thing and they make it fun. Look at Arnold Schwarzenegger in Pumping Iron. He said, this is one of the most satisfying feelings in the world. And you look at a bodybuilding competition, go to a local bodybuilding competition, you will see these people, they're tripping. They are on their own mental trip. So this festival, but anytime people get amazing results, look at them, they're on this festival. So it's like a secret. Make the thing fun. Make it whether it's fitness or anything, try to make it fun. That's one of the biggest secrets. So the A stands for amino acids. We talk about protein. We gotta get enough protein. Whether it's a gram, people say you don't really need that much, but something about getting enough amino acids. And then I also lump in vitamins, make sure to get their micro and macronutrients. So that's the A. The N stands for negative calories. It's almost counterintuitive because, a lot of us, our goal is to get bigger muscles. So the way to get bigger muscles, obviously we have to lift more weights and then eat more calories, right? No, not necessarily. When you do the math, it's like, a pound of fat is 3,500 calories, but a pound of muscle is like, 1,600, I've seen them say 1,600 calories. So if we increase our caloric intake over the course of a year by 16 times 20, that should be 20 pounds of muscle, or even really 5 pounds of muscle is a gigantic amount of muscle. Go to a butcher shop and get 5 pounds of muscle. It's, go to your grocery store and look at what a pound of beef is. Now imagine you get 5 of those. Anyways, divide that up, 1,600 times 5 divided by a year, it's like not very many calories per day. So the point is we need to eat negative. It's harder to lose the fat. You gotta have negative, N stands for negative calories. So the T stands for trench. We have to think long term. You have to stretch, we have to be safe, we have to use good form. So that T reminds us that we're in this for the long run. And obviously don't take steroids. My heroes, when I was growing up, I put my heroes, posters on the walls, and of the 40 heroes that I put on the wall, 20 of them passed away when they were 40. Way too young, and I have to say, it's not just steroids, growth hormone, just don't do it. Don't take steroids. Think long term, but also think stretching. So the T stands for trench. So the A stands for affirmation. There's this fascinating story about a math teacher in California who said to himself, I'm gonna win the Mr. Olympia. I win the Mr. Olympia. I win the Mr. Olympia. And he said it 1,000,000 times over the course of a year. So he did the math. It's like 3,000 times per day. And this guy, Frank Zane, maybe he's certifiably insane at that point because he's 190 pounds. And guess who he defeated? He was one of the 3 people in history who defeated Arnold Schwarzenegger. So I don't know, maybe we're not really gonna sit there and repeat our affirmation to ourselves every single day. Maybe you don't have to, maybe you say it with energy. I stick with the resolution, I stick with the diet. And maybe you can actually follow through on the diet. But anyways, he did. Famous story. So this affirmation, this positive self-talk, seems like there's something magical in that. So the S stands for switch things up. Do different things, you know. Maybe we do high reps one day, then we do low reps, then we do, different sets, and so on and so forth. Then the Y stands for yesterday and you. You got to learn from yourself, keep a journal, see what works for you, and switch things up. So there we have the Fit Fantasy acronym, to take this very specific skill set and put it into an acronym that's easy to remember. And hopefully that helps you live your fantasies.